ladies and gentlemen, it is the first of the month. It is May 1st. And as we're all aware, something always comes out on the very first of the month. And that is a curated revenue report that always gets posted in r/Gacha gaming. And so we've already made a video talking about some of the specific details of this report. We all know at this point, and if you haven't, I'll give a refresher, that these numbers that we're seeing over here never tell the full story. They're always focused on one thing in particular, because they take their numbers from Sensor Tower. And that is the fact that these numbers only look at mobile revenue. And as we're all aware, when it comes to Wuthering Waves specifically, even though the rankings are looking good, Wuthering Waves is a game that sells a lot of stuff on multiple platforms. And this is the thing, right? There's a new platform that WuWa just got added on. Yeah, there's a new platform specifically on the PC that it just got added on. And so all these numbers that you're seeing over here, they're naturally going to be a little bit understated. WuWa's going to be, and WuWa Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, not games like 11D Space and Pokemon TCG. I don't think Naruto Mobile either. A lot of these games, right, are also going to be available on the PC, available on the PS5. And so these numbers as a whole, they're not telling the full story. And when it comes to the source of these numbers overall, even though they're being actively posted and promoted on r/Gacha Gaming, there's something that we have to keep in mind when it comes to these totals. And that's the fact that, A, there's somebody in charge of actually curating and creating this website. Y'all familiar with this dude? Are y'all familiar with who this is? It's by month, though, by Gateoo. Feels the website is ready. Any of you talked to the Gacha mods about this one yet? Yeah, he's actually in close contact, if not directly collaborating with the individuals who are in charge of getting this report. And this is the thing. I don't think that it's necessarily a ploy by Gateoo, even though he is widely known as one of the biggest WuWa haters in the space. Unfortunately, that's not leading to very great views for him. He is known as one of the biggest WuWa haters in the space. And, well, he's naturally got a bit of an agenda to spread. We can just listen to this clip over here of one of his most recent Twitch streams and hear what he has to say.
Unfortunately, revenue PvP post, ZZZ is still going to be on top of Wuthering Waves. I don't see how it isn't. Because WuWa won't get the last few days. The anniversary revenue won't be there on day one. So, still gotta take the L.
And apparently someone posted this video on r/Gacha Gaming, and they got their post removed and their account banned from the subreddit. They got their post removed and their account banned from the subreddit for posting this clip from who we can confirm is directly collaborating with the individuals in charge of the website. This is the same creator, guys, that Tectone has made multiple videos on, talking about how they're racist, talking about how they have an agenda, talking about how they actively spread misinformation. Literally a 4-hour VOD going through everything that they've been up to in their Twitch career. And unfortunately, right, exposing some of his behavior, exposing some of his thoughts is enough to get you banned from this comment section. Because of course, right, why wouldn't you want to ban the people that are just trying to actually clarify and spread the truth about the situation? Yeah, that's how r/Gacha Gaming works, unfortunately. And so we'll dive into some of these comments later.
WuWa's still gonna take the L. I'm pretty sure Sensor Tower won't update in time. Look at Sensor Tower right now.
Yeah, so a big thing about Sensor Tower, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that Sensor Tower itself does not actually report numbers at the end of the month accurately. It doesn't. And I have the proof of it. Because this website over here, right, it's just taken the same exact data that the old Gacha revenue website used before. The one that actually got shut down after I created this video about their numbers. Y'all remember what this one looked like way back in the day? Yeah, this one decided to EOS and actually stop presenting the data after I made this video, and it got reacted to multiple times by many creators. Yeah, they just decided to stop giving out these numbers because I exposed information, you know, talking about A, how these numbers are basically made up for Android platforms, how they're going ahead and just running estimations, adding multipliers to iOS numbers to determine what revenue actually is. 63.7% of CN is actively made up whenever the information is showing over there, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And there's also a disclaimer when it comes to month-end revenue, and that's this one. These Reddit posts that get posted on the first of the month is when prices haven't actually stabilized yet. they usually stabilize by the end of the second week of the month. And so the website itself should actually get updated every 4 to 5 days to show more accurate numbers. But those Reddit posts won't be. These Reddit posts, right, by these individuals who are going ahead and doing all of this stuff, they don't post a second one to update. They can't edit the images on Reddit. And so this is stuff that they're actively knowing is not actually accurate, but they're still going ahead and they're doing it. They're still going ahead and they're posting these charts. And so after that disclaimer, after all of that information, now let's get into a bit more about some of the specifics of the results that we're seeing over here. Knowing all of that, knowing that this is not multi-platform revenue, that this is only mobile, that this is just estimations for what's going on, and it uses multipliers based off iOS revenue to guesstimate what the actual numbers are, let's start diving into some of these results, knowing that they only present just a small part of the story, and they're also curated by an absolute freak. So, Honkai Star Rail is going to be over here at the top. We can all imagine why these results are what they are, and that's pretty simple, right? It's pretty simple. Because this game had a spending event where for the low price of about $250, you would have been able to claim all of these rewards and then also pull, right? And then also pull the most broken unit in the game. Yeah, you could pull the most broken unit in the game who absolutely clears all the content doing, using no brain at all. Don't forget that there's also a global passive on the unit as well. So, a lot of people said WuWa has a spending event as well because of this whole Gilded Night Market situation that's going on. Yeah, you can complete this thing entirely free to play. Yeah, you don't actually have to spend a single dollar in Wuthering Waves to complete this entire thing and get your incredible rebate of 10 pulls. Yeah, we're going ahead and we're saying that WuWa has this super predatory spending event when we're basically comparing 10 pulls to whatever the fuck this thing is. Yeah, there's a reason why there aren't any pulls in here, because all the shit that you're seeing over here, with this being a free 5-star unit, yeah, it's actually worth a lot more than just 10 pulls. Sorry, not free. You're paying like 100-something bucks for this one. Yeah, that's not even comparable to the 10 pulls that we're seeing over here. So that's a big component. That's a big reason why you might be seeing some really high numbers for HSR. And you also got to keep in mind, guys, out of all the gacha games that you would consider the top 4, games like Honkai Star Rail, Wuthering Waves, Genshin Impact, and ZZZ, Honkai Star Rail is without a doubt the most playable one on mobile. You could say that Wuthering Waves' mobile performance, Genshin Impact's mobile performance, or ZZZ's mobile performance is not good. They're just so much better to play on the PC. And most people are going to end up playing, or PC or PS5, most people are going to end up paying money on the platform that they're actively playing on. And playing these games on mobile compared to PC is like absolutely night and day. But the difference between HSR on mobile and those games on mobile isn't nearly as wide, because you can literally go into a Honkai Star Rail battle, then pause, go take a shit, go take a shower, go do your taxes, eat dinner, hang out with your kids, and then come back and still be able to 100% clear all the content, because it's a turn-based game that literally does not require like mechanical input to play properly. Unlike Claire. So that's another big part about why these Honkai Star Rail numbers might be looking really, really high over here. You got the anniversary event, you got the global passives, you got the player base that doesn't realize that they're getting fleeced like fucking sheep every other day. And it's also a mobile game that feels a lot better to play on mobile and is likely going to have higher spending on mobile. And that's why when games are on multiple platforms, it's such a odd comparison to be using these charts as a basis for actual performance. Because again, they're only representing a very small part of the pie. And I'm pretty sure with WuWa in the top 25 top sellers as a free-to-play game on Steam, I'm pretty sure it's making a decent slice of the pie. And do realize it's been available on PC since release, and this is just the Steam launch. So, yeah, that's another thing to keep in mind as well. The other thing is, as we continue going down the numbers, these are all mainly mobile games. And so what you're seeing is actually what you're getting for games like Love and D-Space and Pokemon TCG. These are games that are, ladies and gentlemen, kind of only available on mobile. And so that's going on over here. Actually, I'm not sure about Pokemon TCG and Naruto, but I know Love and D Space is only available on mobile. So this is still a guesstimation, but it's a bigger slice of the pie for them. So now let's get into the actual meat of the discussion over here, and that's going to be WuWa versus Genshin Impact and ZZZ. WuWa is on top just for mobile revenue and their estimations, and they're doing all of this without Zani being incorporated into the pie. Zani and her revenue, her weapon banner revenue, and this is the important thing, every anniversary banner with all 5 of these characters available, all 5 of their weapons. I know a lot of people are pulling Stringmaster and maybe Luminous Hymn for that synergy with Zani as well. All of that stuff is not being accounted for either. All of these banners, these 6 banners that are available in Phase 1 are not being accounted for. Do keep that in mind, guys. So that's not there. And you want to know what else isn't there? Or you want to know what else is there and why these numbers are even this high in the first place based off the estimations? Because of this. Yeah, that's actually all just Shorekeeper. Yeah, that's actually Shorekeeper and her solo banner that lasted 10 days. And you want to know what else? The last couple of days of Shorekeeper's banner aren't even counted either. The last couple of days of Shorekeeper's banner aren't counted for either because it takes around 14 days for the revenue to even stabilize. Around 14 days because of the end of the second week of each month. So Shorekeeper is carrying this entire mobile revenue that we're seeing over here. Shorekeeper is carrying this number on top of Genshin and ZZZ. And the last few days of her banner aren't even counted. And we don't have any of these 6 banners. And I'm pretty sure a good number of people actually pulled and spent on these because despite all the Doom posting that you saw from Hoyo shills on the WuWa's subreddit, there's actually a lot of people that were excited for these. There's actually a lot of people that were excited to have this opportunity to pull every single limited character in the game that's ever released. Even if they're not able to guarantee and pull all 12 characters this patch, a lot of people actually like that opportunity to be able to pull anything they wanted. Specifically, right? Specifically, some of those new people that came to the game. Specifically, some of those new people that came to the game because of its greater reach. You couldn't even top up anymore because the site was overloaded. Yeah, apparently the WuWa top-up page was overloaded as well. The one that you do on PC. Yeah, when you do those external top-ups from the Kuro Games website, yeah, that's counted as PC revenue. Yeah, and that's not going to show up, guys. That's not going to show up in those numbers that we're talking about over here. And so it's pretty clear Genshin and ZZZ are down in the gutter based off these mobile numbers. I know that they've had pretty consistent performance. We know that these numbers are estimations. We also know that they're only a slice of the pie. But, I mean, it's a little bit funny to see. It's a little bit funny to see. So let's go ahead and let's sort of break down. Let's sort of break down what the response has been by the biggest shills in the r/gacha gaming community. Maybe we'll like edit out some of the comments. Let's just keep like the spiciest and the best ones in here. But I'm kind of just excited to see what people are going to be bringing to the top over here. Because posts like this usually have around 3,000, 4,000 upvotes. They usually have a lot of upvotes. But I imagine when the numbers are looking like this and showing WuWa on top, I can imagine why this post doesn't have that many upvotes. First post, agenda posting cheat sheet. Game you like did well equals the best patch in Gacha history. Game you hate did well, most predatory one ever. Players will consume slop. Stop acting like you're the one making money. I think that would be true if it was WuWa getting the criticism, but when their anniversary results aren't even counted in here, and this literally is the most predatory shit ever, yeah, I don't really think that's an accurate one. So of course it's gonna be upvoted by the r/gacha gaming community. It's totally just an agenda to say that HSR's spending event, their global passive, and the new unit Casterus doing like double the damage of everybody else is predatory. Yeah, no, that's just agenda posting. Yeah, you're totally not spitting out any facts at all. We're totally not playing defense for Honkai Star Rail over here. And the fact that they literally did release the most predatory patch in the history of the game with absolutely no content. With absolutely no content to actually play, and the main event being one where you go to the top-up page and give developers money. This is the main event of the patch. Why do you guys think Mr. Pokey posted like 7 WuWa videos in the past week? Why do you think Mr. Pokey, primarily an HSR creator, posted 7 videos about WuWa in the past week because there's literally nothing to do in the patch. You guys want proof? I'll show you guys proof. This is how little we have to do in the Honkai Star Rail patch, guys. We were like on life support until we were waiting for an access release. We had account reviews, and then it's WuWa videos. It's account reviews. Donnie does not need Phoebe. Is Donnie playable without Phoebe? Account review, Pure Fiction reset. Account review, ZZZ. Epic 7, I'm quitting. Account review, an HSR animation, ZZZ. And then we got all the Anaxa stuff. We got the drama videos. And then wait for all the... we got more drama videos. And then all the WuWa stuff. Sorry, it was not in the past week. It was the past 2 weeks. But yeah, WuWa, 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 WuWa. That's how little actual HSR content there was to play. We were waiting for resets and then playing like every other game. And this is their anniversary patch. This was their anniversary patch. And guys, we've never done this before. We've never made this much content on other games before. And we're trying to back in. And on the r/Gacha Gaming subreddit, we're saying that this is agenda posting to say that Honkai Star Rail 3.2 wasn't slop when it literally was. It literally was one of the biggest examples of a slop patch to just farm as much money from players as possible. So now you got game you like did bad, most generous game ever, game first, gacha second, it's fake data, 90% of players play on PC. Game you hate did bad, players finally realize it's a shit game, devs have given up, EOS soon. Okay, yeah, alright, whatever. This, I guess part of it is somewhat accurate. I guess part of it is a joke. But yeah, this whole point over here, let's not mince words with HSR, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not mince words with HSR. More evidence for most Hoyo patches just being moving money around. Star Rail gets a massive spike. Genshin craters. No. Genshin and Star Rail have both made plenty of money based off those numbers. This is just Genshin being a dog shit game, and then HSR having a super predatory patch, and then getting short-term rewards, but then killing their game in the long run. That's what it is. It's literally Genshin having a dog shit patch that nobody wants to spend money on, and then HSR going in, extracting as much value as they can from their player base before the game dies. That's what it is. It's going to be on an absolute complete downtrend after this, where players realize, wow, this patch actually had fucking nothing in it. I got absolutely baited by this spending event. I got baited by Castorus, and now there's really nothing left in this game. There's nothing left in this game because the story has progressively been getting worse. The story has just been getting more and more unplayable. There's clearly a lack of resources. There's a lack of devotion. There's a lack of manpower being allocated to this game. It's losing viewership on every single platform. There was no content to actually play in this patch, and the only meaningful thing you could do was spend money. And so yeah, no, it's not just money being moved around. This is Hoyo taking out a short-term loan on the goodwill of their player base, and then proceeding to sacrifice their future because of it. That's what it is. Why do you think Genshin had so many posts? Why do you think Genshin's Nod Cry livestream was so focused on telling players how they fucked up the game? Why was Genshin's Nod Cry livestream focused on telling players how they messed up so badly in that land? This isn't money being moved around. These are just games failing to meet expectations because now there's an actual genuine competitor in the space like WuWa, where players can actually start recognizing what real value looks like, what real actual effort by developers looks like. And when they compare it to the dog shit being pushed out by Hoyoverse games, they're just like, fuck, maybe it's not worth spending money anymore. Maybe I'll stop topping up $100 every patch. Maybe I'm just gonna do the monthly and the battle pass from here on out. Maybe fuck the battle pass too, because I've been playing this game for so long and I have infinite resources. Holy shit, Genshin EOS. Tribe 9 bros. Battle Cats is goated. Where is Honkai Impact 3rd? Notice how there are so little posts about WuWa in this subreddit, despite the fact that it is literally, for maybe the first time, maybe one of the first couple times in history, it's above Wuthering Waves. There's actually no post by WuWa in the first couple of posts. This is the only one we see, and it's only plus 333. And it's just an image react. It's just an image react from the live stream. I wonder what's going on in this subreddit. And they posted my thumbnail. Hey, I've never seen my thumbnail posted. I've never seen my thumbnail posted in this subreddit before. Hey, but I guess now they want to. I guess now they want to start posting it. Remember when I said I was the one that killed this website? Huh. I guess I wasn't lying. I guess I wasn't lying when I said I was the one that killed this website. If we have people in the r/Hoyo Gaming subreddit posting my fucking thumbnail in here.
A little bit funny how that works. A little little bit funny how that one works.
So the real WuWa anniversary reward is beating Genshin finally on the mobile revenue report. Yeah, that's why I made sure to talk about the fact that it's only mobile. Truly a reward, especially for St. Totas and Baldi. Oh, and Styx too. And then they post a joke thumbnail. Yeah, I mean, this is a great reward. I get to read all the stupid-ass comments made by stupid-ass people in this stupid-ass subreddit. Yeah. No, it's a great reward. I don't think Star Rail's gonna stop global passives anytime soon. I don't think they will either. I think they've realized what their accessible player base is. They don't really have much left. They've lost so much goodwill. Players are gonna quit in droves after this patch. 1,000,000%. When they realize in their 2020 look back how little content there was in this patch and how the only meaningful thing they had to do was spend, people are going to start quitting this game like crazy. Viewership is already falling down on every single platform available. And yeah, there's just a complete lack of interest. Now that players have recognized it's now become a now that players have recognized HSR is basically now a pay-to-play game, the interest for this is going to be absolutely ridiculously low. I don't even know if it's worth making videos on it anymore because everyone knows it's fucking cooked. So since WuWa has higher revenue than Genshin, this chart must be correct, right? Oh yeah, I love how all of these sarcastic posts are the ones coming out now. And so you're seeing, right, we've been scrolling down, we've been getting over here, we've been looking at the top couple of posts, and there's been one talking about WuWa, and it was an image react. I wonder what's going on. Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Looks like the agenda posting is just, it's not working very well. Looks like the agenda posting is not going very well. What's the St. Tontas title gonna be? Kuro destroyed Hoyo, but the numbers are still fake, so ignore HSR. No, this is what the title's gonna be. WuWa destroyed r/Gacha Gaming. Yeah, because this subreddit is seething so fucking hard, mass downvoting every single post related to WuWa, even though they know the numbers aren't fake and real. They're so caught up in their feelings that they're actively brigading their own subreddit. Even though it's supposed to be an r/Gacha Gaming subreddit, it's a Hoyo Gaming one. And seeing these absolute man-children get their panties in a bunch, knowing and refusing to even show that Zani's numbers aren't in here. That's one thing we noticed over here, right? Nobody mentioned that Zani and the anniversary numbers aren't even in here. You want to know why? Because those posts are getting mass downvoted. Nobody is talking about how Shorekeeper is solo carrying all of this mobile revenue because it's getting mass downvoted or deleted off the subreddit. Because somebody posted this video, once again, ladies and gentlemen, of Gateoo talking about how the anniversary numbers won't be in there and how WuWa's gonna get cooked, and they got their account banned. So yeah, you can see, it's not just agenda posting by the users, it's agenda posting by the mods and everybody in here. These are the individuals. There are a lot of people on this subreddit, by the way, right? A lot of people on this subreddit, by the way. These are the individuals that hate WuWa so much that they're actively censoring discussion about the game, censoring clarification, not allowing accurate information to be shown. Is it really that surprising that I'm saying that these are the same people that are actively brigading the WuWa subreddit? They hate this game so much on this subreddit, and the WuWa subreddit is only one click away. It's only one click away. Do you really think that they wouldn't brigade and try to doom post everything about the anniversary as much as possible? I don't know. It seems pretty easy to me. I think it seems pretty easy to me to draw the one-to-one comparison over there. These guys are furious, and they're actually not allowing for clarification about WuWa's potential numbers and WuWa's estimations to actually come to light. They're not allowing people to clarify that there's misinformation spreading around about the results. And I'm not gonna lie, this has to be one of the funniest moments in Reddit history. This has to be one of the funniest moments in r/Gacha Gaming history. And I am glad that I was able to share it all with you today. Let me know what you all think. Peace.